as we sit here, we also advise the speaker. Before a sitting starts, we advise the speaker concerning the upcoming business of that sitting. Tunamwambia you should anticipate this so that in case of anything during that sitting, he's well prepared. And then we also advise members of the County Assembly and the Speaker in terms of procedural and parliamentary practice. Because when we are in the House, there are procedures and practice that we must adhere to. You don't just walk in and out as you wish. So like us in the County Assembly of Nakuru and other counties and even the National Parliament, we have what we call the standing orders. So standing orders just give guidelines on how members should carry themselves during a plenary sitting or a committee sitting, or when you are within the presence of the assembly. Presence means ukiwa huku ndani ya assembly, within the boundary of the assembly, we call that presence. So the county assembly standing orders will give you guidelines on how you're supposed to carry yourself, how you're supposed to dress, ukiingia bunge, how you're supposed to speak, and even participate in debates in the House. So you just don't stand up and start speaking. There are guidelines on how you debate. So during a debate, it is the speaker who is there. He's the one who takes charge of a plenary sitting. Niye anamoderate the sittings of our county assembly. So when it comes to all the business in the House, including debates are called motions. You introduce debates in the House through motions. So we have a sequence in which business comes in the House. That is what we call the order paper. So an order paper just shows the sequence of the business that is coming to the House. Like when you do a meeting, so kuna preliminaries, then we have confirmation of minutes, matters arising. So that is what an order paper is. It just gives the sequence of a parliamentary sitting. So I'll give you samples of order papers. We have some small technical glitch. So like in our case, we are guided on how we carry out business in the House. Our first order paper, or our first business on the order paper is administration of oath. Once members have been elected, mmechaguliwa, uchaguzi imeisha, the role of the clerk of the county assembly is to gazette when the first sitting will be done. So after a general election, the clerk will gazette when the first sitting is done. So during the first sitting, the first business, it is not the speaker who presides that sitting, because at that point, we don't have a speaker. A speaker has to be elected among the elected members, among the MCAs, or any other member who is not an elected member. So during the first sitting of an assembly, we do not have a speaker. So who presides during such a sitting? It is the clerk of the county assembly. So during that first sitting, the clerk will swear in all members. You take an oath. So the first order, who are the administration of oath. So all members that have been elected, including the nominated, take an oath. It is done by the legal officer through the clerk of the county assembly. And then from that, after the administration of oath, now the members elect the speaker. So election of the speaker becomes the second business. So after election of the speaker, that is done, you're sitting in Aisha Ivo. They elect the speaker and the deputy speaker. After that is done, now the assembly now will come up with the dates for the following sitting. So the next sitting is also the biashara assembly itaanza. But during the first sitting, majorly the business one, the administration of oath, election of the speaker and the deputy speaker. So during that first sitting, it is the clerk who chairs the sitting. After the speaker is elected, the clerk leaves the chair and welcomes the newly elected speaker. So what are your requirements when you are in the House? The sergeant at arms will tell you are supposed to be formally dressed. If you are a male member of the house, you're supposed to be in a coat and a tie and official wear. You are not supposed to do jeans. You're not supposed to do khaki. Is khaki official? Is khaki official? For men?
Yes.
Sergeant? Is khaki official for men?
Yes. No.
Sergeant will tell us that. For me, I know it's not. So you're supposed to be in a coat and a tie. For ladies, you're also supposed to be formally dressed. We don't do kitenge. Is kitenge an official wear? When it comes to ladies, it's a bit tricky, but we expect you're supposed to be officially dressed. You're not supposed to do jeans. Just ensure you are dressed appropriately. So that when you're in the house, if you're not appropriately dressed, the clerk can ask the sergeant at arms to take you out of the chambers. So you only speak in the house when the speaker allows you or allots you time. So like during the debate or when you are moving a motion, I'll say that debate comes under order number 8, under motions. So it is the speaker who will allot you time. So the mover of a motion, maybe one of the youth has a motion, depending on the needs of the county. So when the matters we discuss in the county assembly have to be matters that are devolved according to the second schedule of the part 2 of the second schedule of the constitution. So we discuss matters that are devolved. Matters that are under the national government, we don't dwell on them because there's little we can do as a county government or as counties. So most of our business, including statements, motions, we dwell on the second part of the second schedule of the constitution on matters that are devolved. So maybe a member has a motion, which is also called as a debate. The member, what tunamwita the mover of the motion. The mover will come with the motion, atasimama hapa mbele, we have mics here, move the motion, take the house through the proposals of the motions, and then before you bring the motion, when you're introducing the motion to the house, we call this notice of motion. You have to notify the house first. So when you're bringing the notice of motion, you have to lobby among the members of the house and their members why they need to support this motion. Because if you don't do that, they might oppose. So wakati umeleta notice of motion, before now bringing down the substantive motion, before your debate here, your motion ifanyike, in our case, you cannot bring the notice of motion and debate the motion in the same sitting. So for example, you can bring the